So why the huge distrust on both sides? Perhaps on the one hand, with the many conditions set, and on the other hand, the apparent tardy compliance herewith. The recent outcome reached for the COVID loan refinancing indicates that also costing the Aruban government an additional 30 million Aruban florins or 15.5 million euro annually in interest payments. I believe this is a very unfortunate situation. It is in both countries' best interest to have a good relationship and to reach agreements beneficial to both countries. For Aruba, this is especially the case since it does not have any access to international multilateral facilities like the IMF or the European Union due to its positions within the kingdom. It is therefore important to emphasize, at least from the Aruban side, that going forward, tangible efforts should be made to improve the relationship in a sustainable way, to ensure best possible outcomes in future negotiations. In my opinion, there are many lessons to be learned from the recent negotiations that resulted in, to put it mildly, in a less than desirable outcome. Going back to the negotiations between the government of Aruba and the Dutch government, the current reality is that Aruba has to repay annually a substantial amount, including interest, that is about 30 million higher than it could have been. While the CBA projections for government finances in the coming years are relatively positive, and the government of Aruba can probably carry this additional interest burden at a cost of other pressing issues, these funds can, of course, be put to much more productive use than is beneficial to the Aruban community. Aruba and the Netherlands can achieve much more by working together, as has been demonstrated on numerous occasions in the past, and which I had the privilege to bear witness to. With open dialogue, timely public disclosure of government's fiscal performance data, strengthening public governance, effective cooperation, and regain trust, great feats can be realized. I believe that Aruba has an economic base that is sufficient to generate necessary funds to cover its fiscal expenses, to limit its borrowing needs, to be sustainable and a resilient partner, and to eventually enable it to also become debt-free. This aim may sound too ambitious, but is feasible in my opinion. However, besides strict compliance with the LAFT and/or the RAFT, it requires the government of Aruba to further improve current tax laws, as well as revenue collections, and to raise tax compliance by investing in the effectiveness of its tax department. This, coupled with perhaps partial debt and interest repayment being invested back to the Aruban community, with the cooperation of the Netherlands, a debt-free Aruba does not have to remain a too far-fetched goal, but can become a reality in the longer term.